Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
Just
Hello.
sit in solemn silence on the
An adult
cold.
dog talk.
Oh, hey, that was mine. I was taking it to a different level.
Oh, I thought we were both doing a vocal warm up. Normally it's like a group thing. It's not like you don't do mine. I red leather, yellow leather. You know New York, you need New York. She stood upon the balcony, inexplicably mimicking him, hiccuping, and amicably welcoming him in.
Wow.
I'm a mother pheasant plucker. I pluck mother pheasants. I'm the most pleasant mother pheasant plucker to ever pluck a mother pheasant.
Hi and welcome to Favorite Cheese.
Hello.
Thank you so much for watching us on our couch.
Yeah.
Or listening to us on our couch.
Yeah.
I think it is very funny that we just look like we're taking naps and we
Yeah.
just woke up from a nap and we're like, thank you so much for listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Post-nap podcast.
I am the couch, actually. I'm like a centaur, but instead of legs, I am a couch.
The back half is a couch.
I can't move, man. I'm just a guy and a couch
mythical.
bottom.
You've never heard of Camucho?
Hey, dude, you're sitting on me. Get off. It's my couch. I love that.
Oh, I love it.
Anyways, hello. Welcome back. Episode 23. We're moving. We're getting things done. It was Lee's birthday. Then Lee's mom and family stayed with us.
Yeah.
So we're still on the couch, but the set is coming along. Guests are coming. Stick with it.
I pan over, but I know that that's impossible.
Yeah, and we don't have a camera guy right now. It's just a tripod.
Terry got fired. He did a lot of inappropriate things.
Yeah, and Frank is too high maintenance.
She's so exotic.
Very artsy, though.
She's so artsy. And then like
I'm doing
every
a
single time
Zoom.
she's like, I'm gonna do a Zoom. I'm doing a heavy Zoom.
Coming in.
And she keeps like, she's going through weird phases where she's like, watching a lot of Spielberg, baby.
And she's
Watching
really
a lot of
old
Spielberg.
Hollywood. She's like, Dad, is that what you think? You think you're funny?
Yeah.
That's horrible. No one's going to laugh.
Try it from the beginning. And then she talks about lens flares constantly.
All right.
It's tough.
My first boyfriend, Stanley Kubrick.
Janusz Kaminski said to me
Yeah.
that I have to do my own intuition.
Yeah.
So sorry if this is going to take 4 hours to set up. It's going to look good.
I'm trying to make art, not fart. You're like, okay.
All right, get out of here.
I read Save the Cat. I know how to write.
I know how to write, baby.
I'm going to just jump right into my something I'm fondue of.
Because you were saying it very sweetly, and I was like, you should talk about that.
And I know we've already talked about this a dozen times, but sometimes, and I'm gonna get real here. Papa's real corner.
Ew, I don't know about you.
Come
saying
over to
Papa.
the font. What?
I don't know about Papa threw me. I'm so sorry. Papa?
Let me give you the cheddar. Let me give you the cheese.
Take the cheddar, but Papa can't have a corner.
All right. Well, we're trying to get honest over here.
I'm sorry.
And,
I'm sorry. Cheddar's corner is more than open in the mercantile store.
That's what I wanted to say, and I know we've thanked the listeners and viewers a lot, but I don't think we should stop doing that. It's like we already did that. We're not thanking them anymore.
You get it.
You reach out to the Instagram, and it's so funny because people are like, well, we'll see if you ever get this, and
you're like,
I always look at them, and so does Lee, and it's just so nice to hear that what we're doing does resonate with people. But you can't help but be like, am I talking into an empty chamber? But then I get emails and I get Instagram messages and I get people tweeting it out and people reaching out saying how much they appreciate it and how much like they like what we're talking about and how funny it is, and they give suggestions and they help build it. And I want to say thank you. Like we're trying to build this universe. Like I'm looking at like, you know, I used to just talk about getting into falconry, but now I'm like looking into taking some classes. Like you're helping me.
But now I Googled in my area but now falconry.
But I mean, like I gotta keep up with the things I say because I mean now there's people watching. And
one of our friends sent us a video of some guy at like an outdoor mall in LA with a falcon, and she was like, oh my God, tell Delman it's possible. And I was like, this is so wild.
So people are listening, people are hearing, and it feels good. And it continues to be like we're making a difference. We hang out and shoot the shit, and it's just been really nice. So that's one thing I'm fondue of. Thank you for reaching out, everyone. I love the dog pics that we continue to get.
I love the unsolicited dog pics.
It's really nice to see what resonates with people and what doesn't, because you never know. A lot of people really liked the FOMO episode where we were talking about the trip to Yosemite.
Yeah, where we were saying we told everyone what our perfect day in Yosemite would be.
Yeah, because we're trying to build this community out. And in my mind, it's like, well, I don't want to gatekeep that information, and this is good to know. But I really didn't think, I thought they'd be like, shut up, get back to the comedy, talk about the bees and the weird stuff, you know? But no, a lot of people reached out and they were like, we love the Yosemite day trip. It really inspired us. Yeah. Someone even was like, hey, can you guys become tour guides and do this trip?
That's my look. I would literally absolutely love to be just a wild feral tour guide.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's, I mean, look, sure, right now, but yes, I would do it. I also a deep retirement plan. Let's just be those weirdos.
Yeah,
let's just be
totally
camp host weirdos. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, what if I just we just did like guided tours? Yeah, you know.
I mean, I mean, I've already done guided tours.
Oh, yeah, you have.
I used to do this tour to the Hollywood sign. Yeah. Where I would tell the history of Hollywood, all the yokes and jokes, and a lot of people liked the Yosemite episode. One person even reached out and sent us, like, they slowed the episode down and they like wrote out everything we were doing in a PDF. Nice. That's and then nice. Someone was like, I want you guys to do this. And so as we're developing our merch and all this, the more people tell us about merch they want to, that's great. But I was like, what if I made like a map, like an actual designed map
of like the spots in Yosemite
to hit with like the day plan, if you have 3 days, 1 day, 5 days, and do it. And we could do that for all the places, because we've been to Hawaii, we've been to Iceland, we've been all over, and people ask us all the time. And I was
they do ask us a lot. All of our friends that want to travel, they always go like, can you write this out? And we do end up writing like half a book.
Yeah, I already have a lot of it written out. And I've always talked about making a blog.
Oh yeah, he has. He's talked about making. I want to know, because I think the internet is so brilliant and wonderful. What would Delman's travel blog be called?
There's so many places that we could talk about. Oh, yeah, Hawaii. Tell us what you want. I could do Hawaii. I could do, and there was a commercial I was in about Hawaii. Yeah, so I've been. Yeah. Now there's also Iceland, Scotland, Romania, Ireland. Prague. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot. There's a lot.
I know. I'm like, we got,
But we got to keep it like European or stateside for now, because sadly I haven't ventured to Asia yet. I want to, but
those falcon lessons don't come cheap. Look, I have a camembert that I think is pretty.
Do it.
Look, it's on me.
Okay.
I think it's on me. It's on my, it's like a fail. Okay. I guess. Look, I'll just dive right into it. So I went to the hairstylist. And look, we know that I have a bad journey with the hairstylist. Before, she chopped all my hair off, and she even admitted to being like, oopsie daisy, that was way too short. That's not what you asked for. And I was like, okay. Then it took me like 5 months to grow out my hair.
Yeah.
It took like a lot of work. It was literally like supplements and this and that, because I was just like so sad. Finally, like, grew out my hair, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to this girl because she's done really good stuff in the past, and I'll just be really, 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 really succinct about what I want. Like, I'll just literally be like, hey, I really want this length. Only cut the underneath, but I'll just be, like hyper specific about what I want.
Yeah.
I went back, and I don't know how I could be any clearer. I literally was like, keep the length. Don't touch the length. If you touch the length, make sure it's like less than a half an inch. Like, I just need this under part cut because it's just poofy because I have like really thick hair. And then none of that matters. None of that matters. What does matter is that I got my hair all chopped off again, and like literally back to like where it was.
Yeah, you were not happy.
6 months ago. I wasn't happy at all.
You were sad.
And I know that like that sounds so pathetic and vain.
Yeah, but you were just sad.
You're just sad because it's like, oh man, like that took me so long to get my hair to where it actually was like now here's another 5 months that I have to grow it out. Like it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Now I had just figured out how to style it. It's a lot of work as a woman. It's exhausting. you know, I mean, I know dudes get it too, especially if they don't have like perfectly coiffed curls like you.
I just show them a picture of Dustin Diamond every time and I go, I want this.
Excellent job. And they're like, we can't get you that. He has really tight curls.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, but no,
I just show him a picture of myself when I liked what it looked like. And luckily he does pretty good.
And that's an easy peasy.
Yeah.
But it's such a weird thing with confrontation. If you're a stranger and you're doing something wrong, or if you're like being mean to like, I've seen strangers be mean to workers, and I'll always be like, hey, that's not cool. I will, you know me, like I'll always say something. If you're someone I know and like you've done me wrong, like if I have to confront you, I literally am always like,
well, because you care about them.
Truly, and like you're so nervous.
And you know they
like,
didn't mean it wasn't intentional.
There's no maliciousness.
When that Lee comes in, I'm going to sabotage
but like,
her
and you don't want to
hair.
be like, where the fuck did we go wrong? And where was your...
Well, did you
like,
show her a picture?
Of course. I did all of the things. Like every single thing I did, she did the exact opposite of. It was just very obvious she wanted to like cut hair that day.
Sometimes I want to cut hair too.
I get
I'm
it,
like,
baby.
sometimes I just want to chop.
It was just a very funny thing, and I literally was like, I didn't also like, not in a bad way, but you're like, when it's done, what are you gonna be like? Grow my hair back, you know?
Grow it back.
You like, don't know how to be like, hey, you did that, and so now you suck. I'm looking at it and I kind of do the like, oh, okay, great, it's cute. Okay, well, how much do I owe you? All right, bye.
I'm gonna cry.
Fully just that like weird like
yeah.
You know, and so I'm like looking at it like I'm holding pieces of it like that are less than a half an inch short that I'm like
yeah.
You know, and I'm like fully just like, okay, it's fine. I'm all right, it's fine. Then I go home and I'm like talking to friends and stuff, and one friend was like talking me down because she gets it. We've all a lot of women. A lot of women get that, where they like are like, hey, you've been wronged. Are you okay? Yeah. Do I need to help you? And so then I like talked to her and I posted online because I genuinely was curious. I posted online a picture of like Timothy Chalamet in The King, where he has that weird like medieval peasant boy haircut. And I was like, hey, does anyone have any advice for like hair growth tips? Like I'd already taken all these different supplements, but if there's something that I'm not knowing, I'm like fully open now to it. Like I just want my hair to grow back faster. I purposely hid. I know my hairdresser follows me on Instagram. I hid her from my stories. Purposely. I restricted the account just in case. I was like hyper paranoid because the whole thing was like I didn't want to be like blasting at her and being like, hey, I got my hair chopped off and I'm angry and I'm upset and you're a bitch. Like I didn't want to be that person. So I was like, I'll just hide the story from her so she doesn't have to see it and doesn't get her feelings hurt. And none of that. The Instagram failed me. I don't believe in Mercury retrograde stuff, but oh my God, that was such a real like moment of Mercury
because she replied to your story.
She replied to my story and was like, oh my God, like this makes me so sad. Like what happened? Like, are you kidding me? What the hell?
How do we?
And then like, and also like it's such a sick burn to like me being like, here's a picture of Timothy Chalamet.
Oh yeah.
What a sick like.
Yeah.
You know, like here's peasant Chalamet being like, hey, looking like a weird bowl cut boy, and me being like, I'm in hell. And her being like, oh my God, what happened?
That weird prince from like one of those Disney Pixar movies.
That's what it looked like. It's like that weird like medieval boy. Yeah. And I posted that picture kind of like as a deflection of humor because that's how I deal with things. Yes. And then she was not supposed to see it. She like was not. There's no.
Because you care about her and you didn't want to do. It was such a.
And then I just was like, oh my God, I called like a friend and I was like, hey, what do I do?
Yeah.
And she was like, I think you have to have a conversation. And I was like, oh no.
Oh my.
And so I did a weird like, I just want to say that I like you a lot, but I was unhappy. I thought I communicated as well as I could. And I did. I mean, we all worked it out in the end, but I literally was like, hey, you weren't supposed to see that.
I do.
And I like screenshotted when Instagram told me my stories were going to be hidden from you because I'm that paranoid.
Yeah.
But it's such a little perfect Larry David thing. Of literally just like, oh yeah, I literally purposely hid her.
Yeah.
No, the world needed her to see it. If I could delete and block and everything, I would forever. I literally did everything I possibly could.
Yeah.
Why are you showing me this? And I honestly think sometimes it's like a weird instigator. Like sometimes it literally is like, hey, we want to fuck your life up.
Yeah.
Which also
hey, were you having a good day?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
It also makes me truly think like, because I kept saying to our friend afterwards, because she was like, how did it go? And I was like, well, it was fine. And I guess I said everything I said and it was okay. And yada, yada. And then she was like, well, it's good for the plot. And I was like, it's great for the plot.
But I'm going to have to maybe find a new hairstylist. Do I do that? Do I give her another chance? Is it a 3-strike thing, 2-strike thing?
I don't know. Yeah. And then even she was like, well, my hairdresser's really good if you are ready. And I was like, 12 to 18 months, I absolutely will be.
See, I did the opposite. My hairstylist, he's cutting my hair and he's like, I'm about to go to Tokyo. I'm like, when you doing that? And he's like, 3 weeks. I'm like, how long you gone? He's like, a month. I'm like, cut another 2 inches up.
That's hilarious. Chop it up, baby.
I was like, I'll see you when you get back. You have a good vacation, honey.
It's just such a
and
funny...
he's like, what?
Really? All right. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the fix is of it. That's not what's important to me. What's important to me was
hair. That's
truly,
the fix.
I've been asking. I literally have been asking that. Remember during the pandemic when I wanted to buy a Flowbee and I wanted you to do it and then you wouldn't? You were like, you shouldn't trust me with that.
Listen,
that's how desperate I am. I'm going Flowbee, baby.
I've had some bad experiences cutting hair and having my hair cut by non-professionals.
Look, I cut your hair for like 2 years during quarantine.
Then I think I went bald for a while. So
that's not what happened. You're crazy, girl.
I don't know. Just the cut wasn't good.
I can tell you that much right now.
I looked like, even when I went to the pro afterwards, he's like, okay, yeah, no, like she did at least there's some structure there.
Cut your hair.
Yeah, no, but I mean, he's like, she didn't ruin it. And I'm like, well, that's good.
That's good. Yeah. We were doing the best we could.
Yeah. One time I had a crush. I had a crush on a girl in college once, and
one time. He had a crush.
Well, this specific time.
Sure.
But I'm not the most I did this thing called the no game that I thought was really cool because I had no game. When I was young, there was this girl who was Miss Teen California. Whoa. Or she said she was. I don't know. But
she
never
fact checked?
What are you going to do? This is pre-Google. You're right. Like, I guess they chose Miss Teen California from Upland,
I'm going to
California.
my local library.
Yeah. She we became friends somehow because like I kind of grew, my curly mullet was trimmed. I started rock climbing. I got rid of my braces, and now the comedy is working for me.
You started growing a pretty sexy mustache.
So instead of the awkward funny guy who was in band, it's like, he's kind of grown into it.
Delman got bleached tips.
Oh yeah, that's a rebellious boy. Oh. So I started getting close with Miss Teen California, and I never thought that was going to happen. Huge. And then the problem is she was like sharing details with me, and she was dating this guy that was like a really cool guy. He was the cool guy. And then she starts talking about how bad he was at kissing. He was so bad, and she spread it like because Mean Girls had just come out. And instead of them being like, oh, that's something interesting I probably shouldn't do, they were like, this is a great idea. Let's be mean girls.
A lot of inspiration from the Mean Girls.
Yeah.
That wasn't the point of the movie. I love
Thank you. Justifying my moves. So this girl literally went around and just ruined this guy's social, like, he's so bad at kissing, whatever.
Oh, no.
So because of that, I'm like, well, if he's bad at kissing and look how good he looks like James Vanderbeek. Yeah. If he's bad, then I have no chance. I mean, I have so many braces and an expander and this is not going to work out. I had like, insecurity because obviously I'm not like a creepy guy. Like,
you're a nice guy. You're trying to be like a good guy.
And a lot of these, you gotta read the game, and then you gotta trick them.
And ever existed was the like, you gotta neg her.
Yeah, and I'm like,
just tell her she's a dumb bitch, and then she's gonna be like, I gotta get this guy's approval.
And I was like, well, I can solve a Rubik's Cube in under 3 minutes. Is that good? And they're like, no. I'm like, I'm probably just gonna go hang out with the other Jewish guys and play chess then.
Hell yeah.
So I was insecure, obviously. Then I get into college, and there's a girl I like, and we both start drinking some alcohol, and we're having a good time.
Do you remember what it was?
I think it was 99 oranges and Rockstar Juiced mixed together. Maybe with some Captain Morgan on top. Yeah. It was not good. Yeah, it was not good. But I was like, I need a haircut. And she was like, I need a haircut. And so I thought we were flirting. And I was like, I'll cut your hair if you cut mine. I was like, we're making moves. Like, this is going to end hot.
Oh,
It did not. Like
everyone remembers that hair cutting scene from that sexy movie.
So we're just hammered though, and like she's awesome to this day. But it did not work out.
Sure.
Basically, I like just kind of cut some of her bangs off, but it's like a big deal. And she cuts an inverse mohawk into my hair, like Mugatu from Zoolander. Like a flock of seagulls haircut. And I'm like, literally, I'm letting this happen. And I'm like, do you like me? Like that's how bad it is. Like, you're ruining all of it, but do you like me? Please like me.
Tell me that you're into this.
Yeah. And no, especially after that, it was definitely done.
Yeah,
I had to shave my head. Like, I actually shaved it, like, because that's how bad it was. So that's how bad at the game I am, or I was. Yeah. So, hair cutting stories for me, I'm not doing it again. I'm not falling for that.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to get into your pants when I was cutting your hair, but I get it.
Yeah, but sometimes it's a fine line.
Look, I understand. I very much understand. But the no game has done you very well because,
Well, it's just be yourself, and if they like you, they'll throw themselves after you, or they'll just move on.
That's... Yep, nailed it.
Because I have had both where it's like I like this girl so much I somehow ended up in her like Christian youth group band playing piano, being like, "Please like me," and then I ended up like writing a song, which is really bad because I'm not a good songwriter. And then finally, like 2 years later, I get the gumption to tell her all about this, and she's like, I liked you the whole time. And then after a while, I'm like, what's this guy's deal? And then I moved on.
Like, make a move?
And instead of me being like, oh cool, I'm like, why do you do this to me?
Listen.
That was my emo phase.
Oh, I live for the emo Delman. I love emo Delman. Well, all I'm gonna say,
this new diet's liquid.
Is that girl was a dumb idiot girl.
No, she wasn't. She was nice. They're all nice girls, but they've all moved on. They've all had their own weird families, and they've all eaten a lot of mac and cheese, it looks like, based on their Facebook posts. Not a fat thing, it's just they're constantly posting
mac and cheese
and they're like made my new favorite. I'm like, okay,
I
cool.
love that for you.
Yeah,
hey,
love a good mac and cheese.
Look, we all have our things that we love more than anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I love for that. Melting pot. Speaking of
I would
mac
love
and cheese.
to.
Oh
I would
God.
love to. And there was someone who nicely reached out and they're like, this note won't be helpful, but I wish your episodes were 2 hours long.
I don't know.
Because we love them so much. And you know what? There might be some soon, but today will not be that one because
we have a
we
time
are
schedule.
A little behind, and
we're trying to chug along, baby.
Yeah, we're trying to chug. So this is probably going to be shorter than 2 hours.
This is a really good question.
All right, let's hear it. Thank you.
What is your baseball game snack order? Honestly, I think that is great. That this is a real interesting question to me. Oh, okay.
Well, you can ask it. I just don't like it because it all depends on what stadium you're at. Like the Dodgers have the Dodger
What I was
dog.
gonna say this is a very interesting question to me because out of all the questions in the world, to sit there and go, what is your baseball game snack order?
It's very
this
specific.
person has a baseball game snack order, which is the only reason why you would ask.
Yeah, it's specific.
You're right. It's very specific to the stadium.
Yeah, because if I'm at Dodger Stadium, they have the Dodger dog. They have that weird helmet with the chips in it.
Yeah,
they have.
I'm assuming every baseball stadium has a helmet with chips and nachos in it.
I think it just depends. I think there's always a helmet, but it might have something like we got fries.
Yeah, we're a chili fry stadium. Yeah, everyone knows
we're Tots
that.
Guys. We're Tots over here in Chicago.
We're Philadelphia Tots.
yeah.
Absolutely. Back off.
Yeah. We're just cheese in a helmet.
Oh,
over here.
That's just it. You grab your hand.
We're Wisconsin.
Dip it in.
It's just liquid cheese in a helmet. Pour it in. Yeah.
It's really, give it a slurp.
Yeah.
Give it a slurp.
Put a straw in that.
We went like last year. We need to go this year too because I don't know. I love going to a Dodger game. I love the Dodgers, period. So then I love going to a Dodger game. And LA is, I'm sure everywhere is like so dedicated, but LA is truly dedicated to their Dodgers. Like truly.
To the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yes, to the Brooklyn Dodgers. They are dedicated.
Yeah.
No, but they're dedicated and it's always a really fun experience. Last time we went though, because we both were like, oh shit, like we forgot that there's stadium prices, and then we were like, oh yeah, which is always like,
yeah, so like one beer was like $20, which is fine.
But then our friends, all of our friends, Del got a beer for $20.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'll have like one beer, and you know what? I'm not gonna get the buzz I hope for, but I'm gonna get the buzz I paid for.
It's just like a nice time. Yeah. And then all of our friends got these like
palomas,
like 3 foot long palomas. And every time, like, they're drinking it, and I remember, like, one of our friends was like, "Oh, it's really good. Try it." And I took 3 sips, and I'm lightweight. I know that about myself, but it was hammer slammed full of booze.
All of them.
Like, I took 3 sips, and I was like, "Oh, I'm honestly a little tipsy from those 3 sips," and they're drinking 3 feet. Of these drinks.
And everyone got absolutely annihilated, except for me, obviously, because I'm drinking a beer that I knew.
Once again, me and you were the only ones.
And
that
it happened to be the game that they were honoring Vin Scully, who is a big deal for the Dodgers, and he was the announcer forever, and yada yada. And so, like, now all the drunken friends are crying.
They're very emotional.
We miss Vin. I'm like, you've never talked about Vin. You don't even know Vin. You've never even been to a Dodger game. Like, you don't even know how baseball works. I was just explaining to you how baseball.
There was some friends that absolutely knew how Dodgers worked and how baseball worked, and then there's other friends that we were just telling.
I'm like sitting next to him, and I'm like, so have you been to a game? And he's like, no, but it's really exciting. And then at the end, he's like, Vin seemed like such a nice guy. I'm like, what's in these palomas, guys? You guys are a mess.
All of them had just had so many palomas and gotten so emotional, and then Del and I both were like, I think we're gonna be okay, because I had like a weird, I don't know, mango cart drink, and you had like a weird whatever drink, and so we were the only ones that didn't have these like a gigantic palomas.
It was hard getting them back to the cars,
because it was like that, it's that weird like like baby geese across the like road thing. Where
and
like,
they still talk about those palomas. They're like,
because we called the next day, or we like texted the next day, and everyone was like, I've never had a hangover this bad in my life. And I was like, did Dodger Stadium just drug an entire?
I know, but cost average, I mean, I think the palomas were the same price as the beer.
And if you go to Dodger
Stadium, one or the other. It's either get like not a buzz, but have a beer, or get annihilated.
A 4-foot-long hot dog and a 3-foot-long paloma. Yeah. And also, please have anyone to help guide you through the entire
is that your order?
I would do that again, but only if I had someone to like be like we did, where we literally were like, come on, like little babies, let's go across the road, because they just like wander off like to weird restrooms or to weird they'd be like, I'm gonna go and search, I saw a cookie and so I'm gonna go in search of a cookie, and we'd be like, you can't just go, it's a stadium full of so many people. Please don't go look for a cookie.
Oh, the other hilariously weird thing about Dodger Stadium last time is they have Postmates at the stadium.
Yeah.
I'm not getting that from my seat. I'm you bringing it to my seat.
I wanted Korean barbecue, and I'm gonna get Korean barbecue.
No, I think it's only in the park and someone delivers it, but I like the idea.
I love the idea.
Bring it in the
someone
park.
Being like, who ordered the dim sum?
yeah. Over here. I think my favorite order would probably be like what my parents would do, which is just sneak in a Subway club.
God, I love it. Hell yeah.
Just at some point you pull out a Subway and they're like, how did you get that in here? It's like, don't worry about it.
I went with a friend recently to like go to a movie theater, and she snuck in popcorn like under her shirt, and she was like, does it look okay? And I was like, no, it looks like you have a giant bag under your shirt.
We recently went to a movie theater that serves beer, and one of our friends' idea was to sneak it in, but he had no sneak in attire. Like, I had a big jacket, but he had like shorts and no jacket, and it was his idea, right? So he's trying to jam it in my pockets, and I'm like, no, like, I'm getting in trouble for mine, but I'm not sneaking both of ours in. So he literally like puts it in his pocket thinking he's being all sly, and like, which makes him even
and he
more...
just like kind of decides to saunter
so we get in and no one suspects anything because they don't care.
They don't care.
But one guy looks at him and he goes like, oh my God, and just runs, and the beer falls out and just like explodes on the ground and starts spinning around. And then we just look like, and like, I'm like, sir, like what is the plan? And how did we get here? The beer's $5 and no one even cared. They're like,
no one cares.
Do you want us to clean that up now?
That's why why it was so, like literally she had like corners sticking out of her stomach, and I was like, I think you can bring in the bag or at least just be like, all right, it's fine. I do want to make those little fake pregnancy belly and then stuff it all in there and then be like, wonderful.
I'm just gonna try and do dad jokes and walk in with my own stuff and be like, you guys got a corkage fee for this beef jerky I'm sneaking in?
And they're like, please sir, just go see Air for the third time.
Yeah, well, you know, I had this idea before they wrote it.
Okay, all right. You know, I had it.
Mine was gonna be called Swoosh.
Okay, that's why you didn't get it. It's because Swoosh never really took off after the first act.
Yeah.
I think that's a fantastic baseball game snack order.
You never gave us. Yours is just a Paloma and an empty stomach.
I want a 4-foot-long hot dog and a 3-foot-long Paloma, and that's what I'm going to do.
All right.
It's going to be skanky.
Oh, my gosh. Or the Clamato thing or whatever it's called.
And it's so nasty. Like,
remember, the worst thing ever was...
I don't mind the michelada, but their Clamato smells perfectly Clamato.
Yeah. I like them there, but I always have, like, a bad experience at Dodger games because, like... I'm too much of a people pleaser. Yeah. And so like one time, like my friend, like we got the tickets through someone.
Yep.
And they were really good tickets.
They were great.
And I took my friend who's a baseball lover and he was like, hey man, like there was a crazy line for the beer. Yeah. And I was like, I'll get the beer. Yep. And then he's like, okay, cool. I'll go save the seats. I'm like, you don't need to save the seats.
We have the tickets. Tickets. That's such a weird, like, I'll save the seats.
Yeah.
In the spot that we're in.
Yeah. He goes to save the seats. And I'm waiting forever to get these things, right? So I'm waiting. I finally get these. As I get these huge drinks, I just hear like the most uproarious cheering ever. And I'm like, what happened? I sit down and he looks at me. He grabs the drink and he goes, oh, hey, man, I totally forgot my wallet. I'll get you next time. And I'm like, no, because these were like $30. And I got the tea. And he goes, and you'll never believe it. They just had a grand slam.
You guys missed it. It
was the coolest thing I've ever seen in person, and it will never happen again. And I'm like,
listen, man. Again, if there's a grand slam and we missed it, don't tell us about it.
I know. Just
be
like, it was cool.
Break our heart. Yeah. Oh, you didn't miss anything except for all that.
Also, you
got
to pay for my drink. So yeah, no, I'm gonna sneak my own Subway sandwich in. I'm gonna sneak it in, and that's it.
Okay. Well, I hope that answered your question. I said the
and I'm
real
gonna
thing,
eat the rest of my drunk friend's food. I'm gonna be
and
like,
that's what it is. That's exactly. You're like, I want a bite of your churro.
You gonna finish that?
You're gonna finish it.
I do like the malts. I like a malt.
The malts?
Yeah, it's like the hard, really hard, like ice cream that they give it to you, and you can't eat it until like inning 7 because it's My dad would fork up $3 for a malt for us.
I'll fork up $3 for a malt.
And I'd be like, thanks, Dad. This is amazing.
Like, hey, plenty of people are knocking some pretty good peanut shells on the ground if you want to give that a little.
We went to the low-level, super minor Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Oof. And so that's where things were affordable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The earthquake-themed baseball team with Aftershock and Trimmer.
I love that they literally were like, what's the worst thing that could possibly happen in Los Angeles? An earthquake. Yeah. We have to be the earthquakes.
Oh, yeah. No, they were the Quakes, and their mascot was Aftershock and Trimmer, who were dinosaurs who died.
Oh my God.
And then
this is dark.
And then the stadium was called the Epicenter.
Oh my God.
And it was
the
really
evil villain one was a seismologist.
But I will tell you, though, it was a fun time.
Good time?
Yeah. O-Town performed there.
No.
Yeah. When I was like, heck yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, anyways, it was a big deal. But
I was a big fan of Ashley from O-Town.
Oh yeah, he was one of the trash collectors before he made it. He was a Quake's trash collector, and then he auditioned for that show.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, but anyways, if you want to, it was a good time.
Look, I'm ready to go to the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes
Dude,
game.
let's go. I just got invited by my insurance company. They rented out the whole stadium if you want to RSVP for that.
I am not ready for that journey.
They're having a cook-off, and we get to watch.
Wait, are you guys busy Thursday? We are. Actually, we're going to an insurance company's beautiful
They're renting out a small town
stadium.
And they're gonna play a movie, and you get to sit on the field.
What movie is it?
I think it's Angels in the Outfield.
Okay, actually, I'm back in. I'm actually 100% back in.
But there's no game though. It's just
that's
watching
fine.
the movie.
But we're all gonna stand up and we're gonna flap our arms because we see angels. That's
I'm
Joseph
right there.
Gordon-Levitt being as cute
That's
as
Christopher
cute
Lloyd
can be.
being an
That is
angel.
Christopher Lloyd being an angel.
Yeah. So that's
it.
my snack. Anything else you got? Any smackers?
Look, okay.
Is that a thing?
Snackers?
A smacker.
Smacker?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm workshopping on some new words.
I'm
trying to create lingo for the Gen Zs. What happens after Gen Z? Is it Gen A? Do we start over?
Ooh, I don't know.
Or do we? Yeah, I don't know either.
I couldn't tell you, honestly.
I don't care.
Wow, I got over that real quick.
Yeah.
Daniel Ruiz said, "You're stuck in Jurassic Park. What's your survival strategy?"
Oh my God. Do you have mine? One? Yeah, let's hear it.
I know mine completely.
Let's hear it.
And look, I've thought a lot about this because sure, naturally you'd be scared of the predator that is the Tyrannosaurus Rex, okay?
Oh God,
we're of course
I'd
talking
be scared
about
of all of them.
Listen, we're talking about the first one because everyone knows the subsequent Jurassic Parks are absolute heaps of garbage. Okay? We just know that it's an obvious thing we can all state.
Okay, great.
Okay. The original Jurassic Park. I have two strategies.
Mm-hmm.
One, I'm going to hide. I'm a hider. I'm not a runner.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I have nothing to offer.
Yeah.
I'm going to run. There's going to be everywhere they ran. It was like, okay, the T-Rex. Well, at least he can't see if you don't move. Okay, great. I hide. I stay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They figure that out. Wonderful.
I
try and get myself off the island somehow as sneaky hide, right? That's just the thing. Because if I'm gonna go to the epicenter, then your velociraptors are gonna be there, and I certainly can't run. I think we've all learned that about me.
Yeah.
I'm not a runner.
No,
I'm not gonna be that person, right? And I have nothing to offer as far as technology goes.
Yeah.
I can't go and code anything.
I mean, I don't think that was an option.
Yeah, remember she coded all the locks. She was like, "Oh, it's a such and such system."
But I don't. Shut. That was her perfect moment. But I don't do that type of coding.
Sure,
I'd be like, I can make a web application. You're like, what is happening?
I really think it's like run and hide. Here's another thing, and I've really thought about it a lot.
Yeah,
there were a lot of animals in which they are the most passive, beautiful, delicious little creatures. Brachiosaurus, Brontosaurus, Triceratops, all of them with little to no aggression. I'm going to befriend one. I'm going to befriend one.
I don't think you can.
What?
I didn't buy the whole Jurassic World story or whatever when Chris Pratt is like friends with them. I'm like, that wouldn't happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, there's a hierarchy.
It never happens.
Okay.
Have you seen Grizzly Man? Have you seen a lot of these movies? Every time
there has been people that have trained with endangered wolves, and then it's about a pack hierarchy and similar.
Do you know how packs work? At some point, a younger animal has to challenge the leader of the pack.
The reason why Chris Pratt and that Velociraptor Blue got along so well is because there was obvious sexual tension.
Well, yeah, that's pretty obvious.
That's really obvious, right? It wasn't like he was the leader of the pack. It was like you guys had a thing. The weird sexual tension between him and Bryce Dallas Howard.
That was not
real.
there. No.
Him and that Velociraptor, absolutely perfectly there. So no, I'm sorry. But
you never said you were sexually attracted to this Brontosaurus.
No, I just want to be a part of their lives.
Listen, I like the hiding technique, but how Wayne Knight died, Newman from Seinfeld, he was hiding. It's not going to work. They have incredible smell, or so I've heard. So the only way would be to fool them into thinking you're a dinosaur yourself. So I'd have to find that dead Triceratops thing that Laura Dern was all crying over.
He was a dying Triceratops. She was ill.
Yeah, but she's probably dead at this point. And then you gotta crawl inside her, and
you're gonna like a tauntaun move inside her.
Yeah, or like Ace Ventura in the Rhino.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be in this Triceratops until someone comes.
Not a bad idea. Hear me out.
Well, I don't know what else to do.
Like a falconer, cover the eyes of a pterodactyl. I know they're naturally aggressive, but then I learned how to fly the pterodactyl,
I like
a How to Train a Dragon type of thing,
or an avatar.
And then, like a little avatar thing, right? And then I become one with the pterodactyl, and I fly to myself to freedom.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I probably would just try and scare them. Psychological.
What I do know about that is that that's going to be the new Jurassic movie. It's like Jurassic World Quintamination. And they're going to be like, yeah, this is about the one girl that stayed on the island and then made the pterodactyl. You're right. We should probably write it. We have to write it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it would get made. If that last Jurassic movie got made and it was such trash.
Yeah.
Then we have to write this one about a young
You know,
girl.
I got other things to write, but if they approach me,
it's going to be a 15-minute. You just
I don't like
out.
this question because
no, it's okay.
I don't like it just because I don't know. It would be fight or flight. It's like I don't know the park. I haven't studied it. I don't know where I am. I don't know much about dinosaurs except that I like Archaeopteryx. And some other ones.
Not an Archaeopteryx there. Sorry.
I know.
Yet.
And so it's like, I don't know what I would do. I would probably just try and scare them. You know, I'd try and like scream back at them, you know?
Sometimes it's okay to just let go and die.
Yeah. And that's as well. I would probably.
I think we learned a lot about ourselves today.
But the kids made it. So if I found those kids, I'd just stick close to them and be like, they're probably going to make it. This movie's about them.
A lot of running. Once again, a lot of running.
Life finds a way.
Oh, I'd kiss Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, who would?
And then just say, go to town, Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, I probably just wouldn't go to Jurassic Park in the first place, so I wouldn't have to deal with this.
You can't opt out like that. This is a good one. It's just a little succinct.
Okay.
Ready? Have you forgiven your childhood bully, and am I the asshole for being a bitch to mine every time I see her?
I guess I just don't live in the hometown I used to live in. So it's like I don't even
But if you did, if you saw them, do you feel like you'd be like, oh, everything's water under the bridge? Or do you think you'd probably like give them a little side eye and be like a little bit like,
well, there's two people in my life that like were bullies that are kind of still coming and going sort of like like they're still kind of in
your
the zeitgeist a little bit. One of them is he's just the worst guy. He's disgusting. Everyone doesn't like him. He doesn't like himself. And but the problem is some of my friends are still friends with this person.
That's always tough.
And for whatever reason, even though I'd never try and be around him, he somehow always found his way into my life.
Isn't that weird how that happens where you're like, how do you get rid of the crud on your shoe?
And even though I would, it's this weird thing, like, and maybe it's the insecure thing that I had growing up or whatever, but I kind of revert back. So it's like, even if I try and do my greatest comeback, it's never good. It's like, oh yeah, well, why don't
you're rubber and I'm glue, and wait, no, I'm rubber and you're glue.
Yeah, it would be like it wouldn't be good. It would either be very hurtful or very, it's like I don't really know. So
you're either gonna like cut them so deep that they're never gonna recover.
Exactly. Or so for me, I just kind of lucked out where I think at a certain point I was just like, we're not friends, right? You know? And so if I saw him again, I'd probably be like, hey man, congrats on getting married, and I hope you're not an asshole anymore. But like, I
that's an interesting way of putting it.
And the worst part about it is like, this bully guy also thought he was funny because a lot of bullies think they are.
Oh yeah, their whole thing is like, I'm just joking, man.
Yeah, and there's
like,
a lot
well, you're absolutely
and a lot of the
me.
comedians who become comedians were bullies.
Absolutely.
And
same type of I wonder what the Venn diagram of is like. People that were bullies as children and people that are stand-up comics.
Yeah,
now.
And so that was the problem. Is like literally when I was younger, I took a stand-up comedy class, and this guy was like, he heard about it because he was in my friend group, and he's like, I'm taking the class too. And you're like, no, dude, you give me the most insecurity in my life.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go up there and be funny, and you're gonna go tell Miss Teen California all the jokes that I bombed on, you know? Yeah. There was another bully randomly who literally started doing stand-up, I guess, and like later, and so I'm doing stand-up, and now since I'm kind of ahead, he's latched onto me like, what's up, bud?
Well, that's always the weirdest thing when they're like, my childhood bully, because again, I'm not back in my hometown, so I don't see. She still is in the hometown.
Yeah.
But mine is still like, like I saw her and she literally was like full BFF. Like she literally was like, "Oh my god, how are you?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, we're close. I know her. We're really close. Like we knew each other in high school, and I wanted to be like, you made my life an absolute living hell.
Exactly.
Like you were, but again, I can't be that person of the confrontation where I can't be like, Like,
Yeah.
hey, you were a monster. Did you ever have you ever forgiven yourself for being so mean to people?
Yeah, exactly. And it's so funny too, because then he'd start showing up to my shows, which you can't be like, how dare you?
Yeah, don't come.
And then he'd start being like, oh, I'm one of Dell's friends from high school. And you're like, no, dude.
No,
and then
you
one
used
time
to torture me.
Yeah, and he'd be like, can I get some stage time? And I'm like, no, dude. And he's like, come on, man. We've known each other. And then you give him stage time, and then he goes up there, and it's just like really toxic material.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You didn't know. He wasn't gonna get up there and be a nice guy.
Yeah.
I think the long con is honestly giving him stage time and then paying a heckler.
I didn't need to. The audience was like, and then after I did have a good moment. I was like, afterwards, I went up there and I was like, and that was my high school bully who bullied himself onto this show.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. But no, it's the truth of
he never called me back.
Oh no. No, I will say to this person, I'm not necessarily, look, I'm not trying to be petty, but I'm not necessarily in the zone of thinking you're the asshole. Someone said that we should call the Am I the Assholes the Am I the Asiagos.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're an Asiago.
Am I the cheese ball?
Am I the cheese ball? Am I the Asiago for being a bitch to yours every time you see her? No, I really don't think so, because it's just... And I mean, you don't have to be a monster, because I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's so
I don't
tough.
know. I guess I kind of...
I know they always say hurt people. That's what it is. You don't know if they were bullied at home and yada yada. And I know that to be true. But a part of me really gets creeped out. I've had it happen a couple of times, and it really is the weirdest thing when they're literally like, oh my God, yeah, we were so close in high school.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, remember that time where you cut my ponytail off?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that time where you dated my boyfriend?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember that time? All these really horrible things that you're like, you were a monster.
Yeah.
I wrote villain sketches about you throughout my whole life. I literally, no.
So that's how we get back at them, by writing characters or performing. But
well, I remember writing a sketch in Groundlings, and I wrote this whole thing about this bully and them coming to a conclusion about themselves, and I thought it was very funny, and so did the rest of the crew. But my teacher was like, no one would be that mean. No one would be able to get away with that. And I was like, that's exactly what my bully did.
You were the bully, actually, teacher. And
but I remember literally being like, I'm not, none of this was a lie. She absolutely did cut my ponytail off. And
I wouldn't, just because that's not who I am. I mean, I'm kind of like the Robin Hood now, because when I used to teach kids and teach them theater, when I'd see the bully, I'd get him for the other kids. I'd be like, I'm more equipped now and I don't care anymore. I'm like,
that's the thing.
Why don't you, hey Eric, why don't you go up there and sing a solo, bud? Watch this, guys.
Humiliation.
Yeah. I have stage fright. I'm sure you do, but you just picked on everyone. Get up there. Yeah.
You get up there if you're going to pick on everyone.
Yeah.
No, I mean.
The worst is a blind bully, though. I had one of those once.
You had a blind bully?
Not me. When I was teaching the blind kids.
Yeah.
There's still a bully.
Oh, no.
And I was not equipped. He would do crazy stuff that's out of my league. He would grab the cane and just throw it. I mean, he's blind too, but you're just like, oh my, and he's like, go find it. And I'm like, dude,
this is insane.
I'm like, why are you turning on? Come on. Look,
man. I mean, there's always one. There's always one.
Even in the puppy litter.
Frank's a bitch.
Yeah, I'd probably just cower to them and be like, I'm so sorry.
I applaud you for being able to do that, to be like a monster to him.
Yeah.
2, I say, you do whatever you want to do, girl, and you live your life.
I'd say just move on.
As long as it's not emotionally eroding you, then go for it. As long as you're not sitting there going look, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to get vengeance. I'm going to get retribution. I'm going to continue to be an asshole to this person. But isn't it
if you're just slaying in front of them, living your best life, that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
I don't need to go out of my way and be like, hello, Ron. But
negativity is worse to the vessel in which it is held than it is perceived. But also, I can't say that I wouldn't absolutely be a monster to all the bullies that I had.
I'm not going to give them opportunities.
I can be honest now. I really feel like life has already bullied them enough for me because
because I'm looking back.
I'm looking at what's happening.
None of them. I'm like, man, I can't believe Derek Jeter was my high school bully.
I know people that have had that happen where they're like, hey, my high school bully's now on a Netflix show. Oof, that would be tough for me. That would be like
yeah.
a
Looking
real...
back, all of my high school bullies, it's like,
oh, they're fine.
That's great.
Yeah,
I'm doing so much better.
Yeah,
than
it's
them.
okay.
Yeah.
You look like you're having a tough time coming to determination for yourself. I have another really quick
Timothy
one.
Chalamet.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Timothy Chalamet was my high school bully.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Really? He's very
he's
tiny.
a monster.
Yeah.
He's an absolute
I mean, he probably
monster.
is, but
yeah,
in the best way.
Honestly.
All right.
All right. This is really important.
Let's finish strong.
Jylene Designs asked, "Fuck, marry, kill, linen, cotton, and flannel sheets."
Oh man, I don't know. I like them all. I mean, I don't even know what a linen sheet is. Is that like a breathable?
Oh, that's nice. It's so breathable.
Okay.
And soft if you really wash them great and stuff. That's what. Look, I know mine immediately.
But I loved a flannel sheet as a kid.
I'm killing flannel
Okay.
sheets.
All right.
They can burn. They can go to hell.
Yeah. What if it's cold out?
No, I don't care. No, I want the touch. I want the kiss of cold. I want to be able to move my feet and keep getting kisses of cold. I like a little cold.
Well, I only do satin.
I like it. Oh,
that's all I do. I'd marry.
One thing about me is I only do satin.
Yeah.
Or 100% lyocell.
Yeah. Ooh,
no,
not bad.
Ooh,
Bamboo.
Not bad. Bamboo. Oh, bamboo. Bamboo.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'd kill. I don't know. I don't know enough.
You have.
I don't have enough information.
Delman, you have to make a decision.
I'll kill flannel, even though we had a good run.
Wow, I'm killing flannel.
But I don't have central AC, and I don't live in the cold anymore.
That sounds like an absolute hell to me.
If we were in a different reality, I could keep the flannel around. But I'll kill that. I'll marry the linen so I could have it all the time, and cotton will just get boned again.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I think I'm the exact same answer, and I applaud it. Yeah, I'm absolutely killing flannel sheets.
Yeah.
I think they can just go and they can just burn.
Yeah.
And then I'm probably gonna kiss cotton on the mouth, but I'm probably gonna marry the hell out of linen.
But I'm definitely trying to bring water beds back. But we can get into that.
You said that, but I don't think we're allowed to have a water bed.
Well,
it's like 6,000 gallons of water.
I know. My parents had one as a kid. It was hilarious. But one time it did like pop.
That's insane,
and that was
to me.
hilarious
That's absolutely batshit crazy.
I want a sand bed. It's it's just like a sandbox.
It like absolutely is going to break through our floor.
And
how much would that weigh, Delman? That'd be so heavy.
You need a lot of sand.
Hi, sharks.
I want to be doing like snow angels.
Bed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Zen garden around my body.
You're gonna get mites.
Yeah, you just
don't you remember there was like a TikTok where some guy was like, I'm turning my room into a beach themed room. And he had like imported like all these bags of sand, and some contractor was like, my guy, you're gonna it's like,
sir,
your house is gonna break. That's so many pounds.
I just
of
think
sand.
there's a lot of haters out there.
You're right.
Yeah.
When you're right,
sand,
you're right.
A sand bed is good. Is a good idea. It's good for the back.
Oh my God.
And you'll feel like you're at the beach.
Please don't invest in this company. I have
sand
to ask
bed.
you. Nope. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much.
Let us know if you would be ready to invest in sand bed.
Sand bed.
Sand bed.
Andy Sandberg is our spokesperson. But thank you so much for everything. Keep giving us suggestions. Let's keep building this community together.
Keep sending Delman all your sweet things because he really does love them. It's so sweet to see.
And thanks for coming along on this journey.
Yeah, and also, please, for the love of God, give us your baseball snack game order.
Yes.
I love you. Stay stinky.
Stay cozy.